Medicine Hat Police Service and its Police Commission honor and acknowledge that we are situated on Treaty 7 and Treaty 4 territory, the traditional lands of the Siksika, Kainai, Piikani, Stoney Nakoda, and Tsuut'ina, as well as the Cree, Sioux, and Saulteaux bands of the Ojibwe people. We also acknowledge that we are on traditional homelands of the Métis Nation. I would now ask any commission members present if they have any known or perceived conflicts of interest related to the agenda this evening. Seeing none, as it is the beginning of the year, as per our policy, we will take a moment to elect chair and vice chair. In light of that, I will turn the meeting over to Chief Alan Murphy.
Thanks, Mr. Chair. So to start this, as this is the first meeting of 2026, we'll take nominations to start from the Police Commission for nominations for the chair for the year 2026 for the Commission. Do I have any nominations for the position of chair? Commissioner Sir?
I would like to comment on our current chairperson, that he has provided us with strong leadership and well organized. He's a team builder, and I would like to nominate Mr. Carolan for the position of chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Sir. Commissioner Carolan, do you accept the nomination?
I do, thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any other nominations for the position of chair for the Police Commission for 2026? Seeing none, there's no need for a vote, so that Chair Carolan is acclaimed for 2026. Congratulations. Now we'll move on to the vice chair nominations. We'll do the same process. Do we have any nominations for the position of vice chair? Commissioner, go ahead.
Nominate Mr. Keane.
Mr. Keane, do you accept the nomination?
I do.
Thank you, Mr. Keane. Any other nominations for the position of vice chair? Seeing none, Mr. Keane is acclaimed as the vice chair for the Police Commission for 2026. Thank you very much. And Mr. Chair, I'll turn the meeting back over to you.
Thank you, Chief Murphy. We'll continue with the business of the meeting. The agenda was circulated as part of your pre-meeting package. I'll look for a motion to approve or amend with additions or deletions. Commissioner Sir? Approved. Commissioner Choukenroy, thank you. Anybody abstained? Opposed? The agenda is approved as presented. The last meeting in 2025, November 19th, those minutes were circulated as part of your pre-meeting package. Motion to approve or amend.
Motion to approve.
Vice Chair Keane, and a seconder, please. Vice Chair, or sorry, Commissioner Robles, thank you. Anybody abstained? Opposed? The minutes are approved as presented. With that, I will ask Chief Murphy to introduce this evening's presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to introduce the manager of our bylaw services here in Medicine Hat. It's Mr. Brad Potts. Among the things that Brad leads with bylaw services is our PEACE team, which is an acronym which stands for the Proactive Engagement and Community Enhancement Team. Brad's going to give you an overview of what the team was up to this year and some of the stats. And it's a very great presentation, and happy to take your questions following that. Take it away, Brad.
Thank you, Chief. Good evening. My name is Brad. I'm the supervisor for municipal bylaw enforcement. And I want to thank you for the opportunity to update the Police Commission about the Medicine Hat Police Service Peace Team. 2025 marked the second year of this initiative. So a little background into it. As part of the Medicine Hat Police Service 2024 downtown strategy, there was a need identified for a proactive engagement and community enhancement team to assist with reducing the impact of social disorder in our community. Without this type of proactive response, there could be the risk of permanent large-scale encampments, challenges to public safety, and larger expenses due to a reactionary approach. So who's involved? The team consists of many community stakeholders, including Medicine Hat Police Service, bylaw, fire services, community housing, the Meewasin Friendship Center, Parks and Recreation, and Alberta Health Services. So our team mandate. The Peace Team's primary mandate is to identify homeless encampments within the city of Medicine Hat, provide education on local housing and social assistance resources, and enforcement of social disorder type behavior with fines, charges is to be used as a final resource after warnings and education. So what the team does. So we make contact, provide various services that are available to the vulnerable population sleeping on the street. Encourage the homeless to arrange appointments with community services, clean up needles and pipes that may be lying around in public spaces, could be a risk. When needed, provide a bottle of water and a small snack. We issue notices to vacate an encampment and educate occupants about relevant bylaws. We issue fines when required and coordinate the cleanup of abandoned property and garbage should items be left behind. So how this process works and what it looks like. So the initial complaint is received from the public, another city department, or could be a proactive site visit initiated by the team. General occurrence or service request is created by bylaw for the team to attend and perform a site visit. The team attends on the next scheduled day and investigates if the encampment is active or unoccupied. We talk with any individuals present at the encampments and offer services based on their needs. We educate regarding relevant bylaws. Bylaw, which is new this year, bylaw enters every individual encountered into the service request as an entity. We issue occupants of an encampment a notice to vacate, or if no one is there, then they post the document on site. The notice also includes the date the encampment will be cleaned up. Bylaw coordinates the cleanup of encampments with parks via email with attached GPS coordinates and photographs. So 2025 peace statistics. The next 3 slides relate to the statistics and what we track. All right, so site visits. Total site visits is comparable from, I went back to 2023. So in 2023, Medicine Hat Police Service, including bylaw, responded to 160 complaints regarding encampments. In 2024, the first year of the initiative, Peace Team attended 327 sites, patrolling 2 times per week. In 2025, the team performed 754 site visits from April 1st to October 24th. The team met 3 days per week and took a more proactive approach. So from 2024 to 2025, it was a 130% increase in the amount of sites we visited. Entities. So entities is the new stat that the bylaw officer involved in the Peace Team was charged with entering. So in 2025, bylaw entered 453 entities into the calls for service. When you look at the stats, due to repeat interactions with the same individuals, the true statistics for entities was 123. And then when you break that down further, of the 123, 49 were dealt with only 1 time, and 74 individuals were dealt with multiple times. So fines issued. In 2025, there was a total of 39 fines issued by municipal bylaw officers that were actively involved in the Peace Team. You'll see one of the most common ones was there's 21 issued for camp without permission in a public space. Other ones would be improper disposal of waste or fires. So the next 5 slides are photographs taken by bylaw that were submitted to Parks Department for cleanups. So this one here is behind the Medelta potteries in the treat area. This one would be off First Street Southwest. That would be the wooded area by the South Saskatchewan River. We received numerous complaints in this area, and especially about fire concerns. And next one is Gas City Campground. And you can see there in the picture they use a camouflage tarp over the tent to try to hide it. Day Street Southeast shows that they went to the outer parts of the city when we concentrated on the inner parts They had no problem adapting to find a new location. This one is Kipling Street Southeast off the walking path across from the post office. And this last one here is the Big Marble Go station, sorry, Big Marble Go. And you'll see there, it's the big piles of dirt that they put up there for extra dirt from the city. They actually dug trenches and built forts. And the second picture there, you'll see one of the notices that will, if no one's there, that we'll post to let them know that we're gonna come and clean it up. Year-end meeting and open discussion. So on November 18th, the Peace team held their year-end meeting to discuss what each stakeholder thought worked and what the team's biggest challenges were. So what worked? So the team recognized 5 things that worked well. Number 1 would be the team approach of offering services, programs all at once. Number 2 would be the rapport building with not just the homeless, but between stakeholders. Number 3 would be the compassion showed by bylaw members of the team, which directly ties into number 4, which is an education first approach before any fines were issued. And number 5 would be the addition of a support worker from the opioid dependency program with lived experience. This addition was a huge win for the team and assisted in many ways by breaking down communication barriers, building trust, providing authentic insights for the team and the vulnerable on the street, and acting as a go-between or an icebreaker for service provider and encampment residents. So our biggest challenges. There was 5 recognized by the team. Number 1, and the biggest challenge discussed, was around adequate, affordable, and immediate community housing options. Number 2 would be a lack of transitional housing and daytime drop-in spaces. Number 3, mental health and substance abuse. Number 4, lack of follow-through by the homeless with community services. And number 5, lack of proper staffing resources available to continue or enhance this program. Most of the stakeholders involved in this initiative are doing so with no extra funding or staffing. So changes, improvements for 2026. So a few changes, improvements the team is looking at for 2026 include increase the worker from the opioid dependency program from 1 day per week to be available every day the team patrols. Bylaw to keep statistics separating proactive and reactive homeless encampments, and the development of an online encampment form that will allow for a complainant to attach GPS coordinates and photographs for sightings. This will allow for staff efficiency and take the guessing game out of finding some locations. Once again, I want to thank you for your time, and I'm open for any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Potts. Any questions from the commission? Commissioner Johnson.
So, in the last year, have the level of homeless and the number of homeless, is it going up? Is it going down? Are we winning or losing?
I don't think there's any winning or losing. I think from the 2 years, we kept better stats, but I think it's about status quo. I don't see it getting out of hand. Like those 49 that I talked about, they were a one-time thing. There were people even just passing through camping for the night. But, you know, if our number that we really dealt with would be 74, which I think goes with the pick list from previous years.
Okay, so we're about status quo, because it would seem that if we get more homeless, we're losing, and if we get less homeless, we're winning. And you know, in a quick stat. So we're sort of holding our own.
And in the 2 years I've been involved with this team, yeah, I'd say it's holding about the same.
Okay, thank you.
Vice Chair Keen.
Yeah, first of all, thank you for your presentation. It's provides us some good insight. One of the things that I've heard over time in the community is that there's a percentage of the homeless population that they just prefer to live in that lifestyle as opposed to community housing or the shelter where there are maybe some restrictions, or that, you know, if they were in a multifamily type of a residence, that they can't play loud music or be, you know, those kinds of things. I'm just wondering what your thoughts are.
Yeah. that's one of the frustrating things with the team is when you go out there and offer them the services and people say they don't want them, or I'm living my best life, or it's too hard to get housing, or it's too hard. So yeah, we do hear it, and you know, any success is better than nothing. I think there was 2 that we know for sure that got housed. So, but it is frustrating, and you do hear that when you're out on the street.
Vice Chair Keane, if I could just add, sometimes when it comes to mental health and addiction issues, it takes till someone is at their lowest point and they can accept that help and accept the services, and that's why you gotta keep fighting the fight like Brad's team is doing and what the police do and our other stakeholders in town, because someday that day will come, hopefully, but until you get to that day, it is exactly like Brad described. Some feel they're living their best life. It's not I wouldn't say it's their best life, but they think it is at that point. But until they're ready, they're probably not going to make a change. So I agree with Brad, what Brad had said to say.
Thanks, Chief. Mr. Potson, perhaps, Chief, your presentation, very informative. Thank you very much. And you talk a lot about focusing on encampments. And so that is the peace team's role. And if we have people spending a lot of time downtown necessarily, is that then downtown patrol unit? How does that break up between amongst the service?
Well, yeah, so the downtown patrol does downtown and that area. They do Bleecker Veterans Park and stuff. We assist when needed, but we respond to hotspots for encampments or people hanging out for long periods of time. We work in conjunction together for the downtown, but we do the whole city.
And I would just add that the downtown patrol unit probably deals with most of the same people that Brad's team does in a different environment, but it's probably the same people that we're dealing with citywide. Depends where Brad tends to get them, where they sleep at night, and downtown obviously is when they're in the downtown.
Thank you. And my final question, recently reported fairly heavily in the media, and you did touch on it, fires being a significant risk as a part of encampments. Are we seeing that prevalently? What's the tie-in with Medicine Hat Fire Service and being able to address those things proactively?
Yes, so we put a system in place this year where if fire goes to any kind of encampment or area in the city that could be a concern, by law, then the peace team gets a automatic generated email, and we go out the next time we're in. And the fires are usually out, and you can put a conjunction, but usually by the time fire or police or by law get there, the starter of the fire is gone. So I don't think it was any worse this year than last year. It was more of the concerns of the wooded areas where people are, or your dense areas.
The other thing I will add, Mr. Chair, is occasionally someone, if it's colder weather, will have a heating source in a tent that's usually fed by a small propane tank, and that's a risk. So that's another reason why fire would be involved. If something like, if there's accelerants being used, one is to avoid fires or to deal with dangerous objects that we might come across. So that's another reason that we would do that. In some other municipalities in the province, they have had some people of the vulnerable population die when tents caught fire with them inside and they couldn't get out. So that's what we're trying to avoid, is fires in our river valley and throughout our city, and individuals dying because of a fire that might occur in a tent because of a heating source.
Thank you, Chief Murphy. Thank you, Mr. Potts. We appreciate your presentation, and on behalf of the commission, thanks for coming out tonight.
Thanks for having me. Take care.
Thanks, Brad. And I just want to say thanks to Brad and all the other, this is a public meeting, so all the other stakeholders that take part. And just like Brad mentioned, this is something off the corner of everybody's desk, but it's important work, because if it's not done, what happens is when an encampment starts and if it grows, property crime tends to grow in the neighborhood around in the neighborhood where an encampment's located, which causes different problems altogether. So to avoid those issues is why, and to save lives, hopefully, and we try to get people out of these encampments and not let them take hold. So thanks to you and all our other stakeholders, Brad, for the work you do. It's incredible. Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry, and I didn't look over to my left, so Councillor Cox.
Thank you. My quick question is this a year-round issue? Some of us on council today had a made a visit to tour the facilities of the Mustard Seed on 8th Street. And they're very busy in the cold of winter. Is this encampment issue, does it present itself in all seasons of the year?
We respond to all encampment calls all year, but the team doesn't gather every day or all year long. We usually start around March and end in October, November, depending on when the weather's bad.
Councillor Clugston? Great. Thank you again, Mr. Potts.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brad.
Okay, we will move on to standing items and police budget update. Chief Murphy.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. No variance report this month. The police service is in collaboration with the City of Medicine Hat currently working to close out year-end 2025. We should be able to report on that next month, and we are starting our work with City Administration around budget preparation throughout the year. That'll lead us to budget discussions with City Council in the fall. Thank you.
And AAPG report, Commissioner Johnson.
Thank you. To start with, on December 1st, as you may recall, my last report, we were supposed to have a meeting with the ADM, Mr. Zablocki, and in the middle of it, fire alarm went off in his building in Edmonton, and it all had to be canceled. Well, we finally had that meeting on December 1st. The first part of the meeting, a lot of it had to do with police committees rather than police commissions. And I guess that sort of makes sense because at the end of the day, there is 48 police committees in the province where there is only 8 commissions. And there's also 3 Indigenous commissions. What else do we have here? One of the things, the community safety plan, there is coming a standardized style for that. And it is mandatory, it'll be done between the police service, the commission, and the city. So I guess it's sort of wait and shoot until we get that standardized form. It went a little bit over announcing, of course, what we already know, that the police review situation went live on December 1st with Edmonton and Calgary offices. We were then asked to submit questions for the ADM, of which I had 3. My first question was for extra funding for mid-size and small police services, such as has been given to EPS and CPS for things like downtown patrols. The answer I got was that originally this was in the budget for smaller departments, and somehow through the budgeting process, it got, it wasn't done. And number 2, I asked whether the provincial government, what they have done for research with regards to AI and how that may change the policing landscape. And I got the answer of, that's a really good question, and which usually means that there was nothing there, and they haven't actually done any of that research, but I think that they may be looking at doing something like that in the future. I asked also for a sit rep on the situation report on the Alberta on provincial policing, and was just told that it was at the early stages. So that's that for the meeting. Next item, the Tabor Conference. If any of you have been watching the news, you probably knew that our venue actually blew up at the arena in Tabor. One of the Zambonis had a leak and it blew apart. So They will let us know whether they were able to have the conference at that venue. They'll let us know next week. But rest assured, I was in a meeting today and I asked if there was a Plan B. And there is an actual Plan B, so it's not like it's going to cancel the conference. Last item is the APG has a new executive assistant, Leah, I'm going to murder this, Isaac Watts. So she just started with us last month, and many of you probably had dealings with the previous person who had that job and who now is gone. So that's the end of my report.
Thank you, Commissioner Johnson. Any questions? Seeing none, we will move on to the Office of the Chief report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Inspector Graham's not with us tonight, but Deputy Chief Saney will speak to the operational services report.
Thank you, Chief. I'm going to just highlight two incidents off the report there. The first one's going to be the suspicious firearm and seizure. On December 12th, members of our traffic and patrol unit responded to a report of a suspicious vehicle on Dunmore and 21st Street Southeast, where a male was observed sleeping. 3 occupants were located in that vehicle. There was a male driver, a female passenger in the front seat, and a male passenger in the back seat. It was learned that the male passenger in the back had outstanding warrants. He was subsequently arrested, and search incident to arrest revealed a bolt-action rifle concealed in his jacket. Subsequent search of the vehicle from incident to arrest revealed the firearm, 44 rounds of ammunition, a carton of black stock cigarettes, and multiple knives in the vehicle. The male driver and the male passenger were charged with subsequent firearms offenses. The other incident I was talking about is the North Railway Street property damage. This happened back in November 18th. Downtown Patrol Unit responded to multiple reports of significant property damage affecting 9 businesses on the 400 block of North Railway Street Southeast. There was a total estimate damage of $70,000 to those properties. Following investigation on December 19th, a 43-year-old female was charged. She is a Medicine Hat resident, and subsequently she was charged with 3 counts of mischief, causing damage, and another 6 counts of mischief over 5,000. So 3 counts of under, 6 counts of over. Those are the notable reports, and then I just wanted to highlight December 25th holiday check stops. We had a total number of 662 vehicles checked during that time, and there was 3 IRS fails and 3 IRS warnings, which is immediate roadside sanctions, and there were several, well, I'd say 151 TSA regulation violation warning givens. That's it. That's the report. I'll take any questions.
Just one question. I think I read in the Medicine News that vandalism or whatever it was on North Railway with the multiple storefronts that were damaged was like 70,000?
It was 70,000, approximately 70,000.
So do the perpetrators end up walking away from that, or do they get
Well, the court
slap
could
on the
order
wrist or
restitution.
what? I don't
The
know.
court could order restitution for the persons to pay back, but in most of these circumstances, the person wouldn't have the money to pay back. So
Yeah,
it'd
I
probably
get that. But then is there not maybe jail time or something? I don't know. There should be some sort of, you shouldn't be able to just disable
I agree with you,
storefronts and
Commissioner. I
walk
think
away
that's
and
where the
laugh
court,
about it.
that's where the courts will decide the term in regards to jail and whatnot.
Commissioner, there may also be some opportunity during the court process for the victims, the businesses, to get some restitution through the Victims of Crime Fund that exists, but that's again up to the judge if that's the way that happens. So out of our hands, but that certainly gets
Yeah.
raised in court.
Thank you. Yep, just going back to the holiday check stops, going by the number of vehicles monitored was 662, and then IRS fails was 3. So that's less than a 0.5%. Would that be considered low? Do you know, compared to maybe other previous years? Maybe we don't have the stats available, but it just seems quite low to me, which is a good thing.
It could be. I don't have the stats available for the previous year. What I can tell you is it's probably the fact that the members know at that time in the community know that we are out there, and they're probably curbing their ability to get behind the wheel and using other modes of transportation to get where they need to get to. So our message is being delivered.
I'll turn it over to Investigation and Support Services with Inspector West.
Thanks, Chief. I just want to take a moment, and this particular file isn't in the report, but on page 18, you'll see the Safe Family Intervention Team stats. Nothing out of the ordinary this month, but we did have a file I'll tell you a little bit about, and it just shows some of the work that they do. So a lot of the work that SFIT does is administrative, so they review all the domestic files and make sure that they are properly investigated and point victims towards services and so forth. But in this instance, that there had been a very serious domestic dispute that had been, or domestic assault had been investigated. And the SFIT, along with our VA, were following up with regard to an upcoming court date. And they couldn't locate the victim. They had some problems getting hold of her. They didn't know if she had a cell phone or not. Our SFIT Constable Boyce, used some of his investigative skills, and he did manage to locate the victim, who is in, sort of a state of not hiding out, but certainly very difficult to be found. They found that she wasn't living in the best of conditions. She didn't have a cell phone and so forth. And really a sort of coordinated team effort kicked in. We had our partners at CFS, SPCA. There was a pet involved. The Medicine Hat Women's Shelter was involved. They helped connect her with income support. And at the end of the day, they got this person some housing and a cell phone and income support. And it was just a really good example of some of the behind the scenes work that our SFIT unit does, and that they do go into the field and sometimes get involved with these investigations. But this all came about ensuring that that person had the proper court support in trying to contact her. So just a really great example I thought I'd tell you about. And on the same page, just moving down to the training unit. So this month, we had our digital forensic officer attend some training, and this just highlights the fact of keeping pace with cybercrime and the technology. So a lot of training and work goes into that. So this was the Magnet Talk session, and if you look at the stats up in the cybercrime unit, they did about 10 devices, which doesn't sound like a lot, but I could tell you going through some of these phones is just an incredible amount of work. So always trying to keep pace with the ever-changing cybercrime space. And then the Chief touched on our recruit training program. So they are about halfway through their program. And in December, they really hit some of the more intense portions of the training. So they did their impaired driving investigation. And of course, they had the day where they're exposed to OC spray. So we don't do, that's not just done for fun. The idea is that when officers are exposed to OC or pepper spray, that they understand that measure of use of force when they're using it on someone else. And they also went through their taser exposure. So a pretty stressful day for those folks. They do both those exposures on the same day, and are really doing well at the midway point. And that's all I have for my report, unless anybody had any questions.
Any questions for Inspector West? Seeing none, we'll wrap up with the Chief.
Actually, I'll turn it over to Deputy Chief Saini in case he has anything for his own report. His last one was for Inspector Graham, so just in case he has something here.
I don't have anything, Chief. Thank you.
Okay, he has nothing. For my report, I'll be very brief. Our recruiting drive is currently on. As Inspector West mentioned, we have our recruits that are a little over halfway through their training, so they'll be done at the end of March. Our current recruiting drive is for a class that we'll hire in September of 2026, and that process closes on March 31st. So we're working towards that. The recruiting process is going very well and identifying some great candidates, so we'll keep working at that. And next month is Fraud Prevention Month. So we'll have a presentation for the commission in the open meeting, which should be valuable to our citizens, especially seniors, for fraud prevention. We'll have Sergeant Adam Gregory come and do that. He's done some other presentations around town in the last couple of weeks, but that's who we'll have here next month for you. And I'll happy to answer any questions if you have them.
Questions for Chief Murphy? Seeing none, we'll move on to new business. We received an inquiry in late November related to the Commission's intention to become accessible remotely. City Council here and other jurisdictions have recently taken steps to allow people to participate in meetings such as this virtually, including asking questions. And so this is a brief opportunity for the Commission to discuss community consultation in a remote environment. And no decisions need to be made this evening, and if we need some more information, we will certainly find it. But we did want to raise the point that someone in the community has reached out and asked about that virtual accessibility to Medicine Hat Police Service Commission meetings. Anybody on the floor? Comments, questions? Vice Chair King?
Yeah, I certainly think it's worth exploring, just to see if it's, number one, if it is possible, and, you know, if some policy decisions would need to be considered, et cetera, but I think it's worth exploring.
Thank you, Vice Chair King. Any other comments or questions? I think the comment about policy is obviously on point. We do have a governance committee. Sorry, Councillor Cox.
When you're ready, sir.
No, go ahead, please.
I was just going to add my support for the idea of making remote access available. I don't know how much you'll get, and I do share Councillor Clugston's concern about people abusing that process with the police commission, giving false names and maybe trying to raise things that are maybe subject of complaint against a police officer or whatever. So I think it comes with additional cautions, but if there's a way of dealing with those, I think it's a good way to make these commission meetings. I mean, obviously, we don't have a great deal of interest. Anybody could come here and attend in person, and I don't know that making it available remotely is going to improve attendance at these meetings, but I do think it's worth looking into.
Thank you, Councillor Cox, for your comments. Any other comments? So for a matter of the record, if I could, Chief Murphy, could you help us take away the technology piece and look into the potential of whether or not this is possible? And we'll also ask our governance committee to look into the policy side of that and perhaps take away two key points: that accessibility is absolutely important, and abuse of that accessibility we must be able to handle appropriately and transparently. So if we could make those notes in the minutes and refer that to the governance committee on the policy side, I think that would be a great next step. Thank you. With that, we'll move on to CAPG membership. So the Medicine Hat Police Commission is a member of the Alberta Association of Police Governance. There is a national body, the Canadian Association of Police Governance. This is a topic that has come up over the last couple of years for this commission. We have provided business case, details, costs, and it has been raised again. And I don't know, Commissioner Chikkanura, if you want to speak to this, but you're following the Canadian Association of Police Governance closely, and I know you have a particular interest in it. So if you would like to comment, if the commission chooses to secure membership, we just need to have a motion to allocate the funds to do so.
Thank you very much, Paul. I found the CAPG in my opinion, I think is essential. It has been like getting onto the commission, pretty new. My attendance of the AAPG and the CAPG conference, both conferences have actually helped me understand what my roles and responsibilities and expectations are as a commissioner. And I follow the seminars, the webinars that they post, and sometimes you look at the topics, you want to attend the classes, but you can't because you need to be a member. So that in itself, the education part of it, I think is necessary. I think all of us will benefit from it as commissioners. Then the other one is what I've also discussed with you. What I believe in is I think we need to be seen to be committed or to be a part. And when I say part, even if it means the executive part of that, because we don't want Medicine Hat, for example, to be on the sideline because we're a smaller commission, for example. So I have made inquiries in respect to that. How do we become a part of this? And we were told that we have to be members, registered members. The commission itself, Medicine Hat Police Commission, has to be a member of the CAPG for us to participate at that level of being on the board or being in the executive, or apart from just attending conferences, or to even have access to the conferences and the webinars. So, and I've been in discussion, following up with that with the chair, and I'm just waiting to see what the House says. If we all agree, that's fine. I for one, I love anything education because that's how we learn, so yeah.
Thank you for the background. I think the case has been made over this conversation and other ones, and it does come down to a fiscal component. So I don't know, do we have that in front of us, the amount for CAPG membership? Mel, do you know? So while Mel looks for that, I'll just summarize. We do get and we have sent commissioners to the CAPG conferences. There is a member rate versus, thank you. A member rate versus a non-member rate. And then as Commissioner Chukanura shares, if you want to be involved in policy, education, governance, we have to be a member. I think the background has been made clear, and so the chief has just looked this up. The 2025-2026 CAPG membership is $835. So let's put this on the floor for a motion. Is someone prepared to move that we invest $835 in CAPG membership? Commissioner Johnson, thank you. A seconder, Commissioner Chukanura, thank you. Any further discussion? I see two hands. Councillor Cox and then Councillor Clugston.
It's great to belong to all these organizations and pay their fees and keep them running. And what do we get out of it? Is, I guess, my overall question. Are we going to get significantly more? Do we already belong to the Alberta or part of this? So is there significant additional benefit by joining the Canadian, or is there a bit of duplication of service here?
Please jump in if you would like. I think Commissioner Chukanura has outlined it well. Again, last year we sent 2 commissioners. I think the year before we sent 3 commissioners to the annual conference. And we do have savings as members as opposed to non-members at attendance. I don't believe, Councillor Cox, that we save enough to cover that fee, but it is an extension of the benefit. And then the second piece is the education piece, that there's training available for commissioners that isn't accessible unless you are a member. I'm not weighing in on it for or against by any means. The only other thing I would say is that the Medicine Hat Police Commission is, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but a founding member of the Alberta Association of Police Governance. And so we have taken a leadership role in the past in coordinating a more concerted effort into conversation and collaboration. With that, I will turn to Councillor Cluxton.
Thank you for that. My questions were similar to Councillor Cox and a couple more. Have we been a member in the past? I do not remember when I was 13 years ago. We have been. And is it prorated based upon the size of the police force? Does Edmonton pay more than, oh, it's not just a flat fee?
That's right. Great point. So I got folds on both sides here. So Vice Chair Keane has found more detailed information. It is based on the service size, and our service fits in the 101 to 250 members. And so the annual fee is $16.97. Sorry, and I missed that doesn't answer your prorated question.
No, it does. Well, yeah, I would assume that Calgary's police force is 20 times the size of ours, 2,000, 3,000, whatever, would be a different category. And my other one was, we've done it in the past, and we have.
Okay, so, sorry, we should.
But just to clarify, you did say 800, but it's actually 1,600.
Correct.
Yeah.
So as a point of order, the motion would have to be amended to not to exceed 1,700. Do you, a friendly amendment, accept? Seconder, accept? Thank you. The motion stays in force on the floor. Any further comments, questions, or Vice Chair King?
I think I would just add to what was already shared that there is access, number one, to more educational materials online. And if we want to ever attempt to be a voice, we also have to be a member. And so I would support the motion.
Thank you, Vice Chair Keane. Any other comments or questions? Seeing none, I will call for the vote. The motion is to join CAPG at a cost not to exceed $1,700. Is anybody abstained? Anybody opposed? I have 2 opposed. Would you like that recorded, or are you just happy with it? Recorded. Councillors Clugston and Cox are both opposed. And the final vote then is 4. Who's voting in favor? Commissioner Sir, I didn't see your hand one way or whether yet. Okay, and would you like that recorded as well? Okay, Commissioner Sir is also opposed. We have 4 in favor and 3 opposed. The motion is carried. With that, we move on to the 2025 meeting schedule. That's a great question. I've never had to vote before. Okay, well, I am in favor, so motion is carried. Thank you. 2026 meeting schedule. So as per our policy, the annual calendar has to be approved by the commission. It was circulated as part of your pre-meeting package. Most of us are very familiar with that. We meet monthly, January through June. We take July and August off, and we meet through the fall and take December off. This requires a motion as it is part of policy. So I will call for that now. A motion to approve the meeting schedule as presented. Commissioner Chukanura, thank you. A second. Commissioner Johnson, thank you. Any discussion? Seeing none, we will vote. Any abstained? Opposed? That motion is carried. The agenda is approved as presented. With that, we will move on to community consultation. We do not have anybody in the audience this evening, but we did receive a question by email. And it is, I think, very appropriate based on our presentation earlier. So Dinah Jubrak asks, is there a plan at the Medicine Hat Police Service for supplementing the Sharps debris pickup currently done by SafeLink and scheduled to be shut down by the end of the month? Chief?
Mr.
Mr. Chair, I'll turn that over to Deputy Chief Saney. Thanks.
Thank you, Chief. Yes, our bylaw team can usually be called through dispatch, and they'll come pick it up, as well as when Peace is working, the Peace team's working, they'll be responsible for the removal of the sharps and the debris in regards to needles.
Thank you, Deputy Chief. Any comments around that topic? Seeing none. Upcoming meetings, Wednesday, February 18th, here in Council Chambers, the next Medicine Hat Police Commission meeting. With that, I will ask for a motion to adjourn. Vice Chair Keen. Thank you. The meeting is adjourned. Thanks for everybody who joined us online.